So let's deconstruct PCOS.
Yeah, so PCOS is basically polycystic ovarian syndrome, where you generally make one egg every month. If the egg doesn't meet the sperm, and then the lining sheds and you get a period at the end of the month. Now, when girls are born, they are born with certain number of eggs in their body. When a female is born, they have around 150,000 eggs which are undeveloped, which are in their ovaries. And every month, 15 to 20 of them start developing in your ovaries around the day 4, day 5 of your period. And then one of them becomes a big egg, which is ready for fertilization. Now with polycystic ovarian syndrome, what happens is that a lot of little follicles are struggling to grow, and none of them become an egg. So there are a lot of these follicles which are actually growing up to a certain size, but then there is a follicular arrest and they're not going further. And that is when you see under an ultrasound, you will see that the ovaries have like a grape-like structure on them. So you have like these tiny eggs which are sitting there. That's why it's called polycystic ovaries. Yeah, you have like too many of these follicles sitting there, none of them becoming an egg. Yeah. And then because none of them become an egg, once the egg matures, that's when the second half of the cycle begins, which is when the corpus luteum of that egg, which is the remaining part, once the egg gets released, the remaining part, which is the corpus luteum, that makes the progesterone for the second half of your cycle. So once the egg doesn't get released, then there is no corpus luteum to make the progesterone. So the second half of the cycle gets compromised. You don't get the lining, and then you don't get a period at the end of the month. So that is mainly what predominantly polycystic ovarian syndrome is. That it is just a follicular arrest. The egg doesn't grow. Because the egg doesn't grow the second half of the cycle, there's no point of doing the second half of the cycle, right? So then irregularity of period happens.